What is up, guys? Today we're jumping into another top 10, this time with my solo carry champions. Basically champions that have an extremely high potential to carry the game but are not reliant on their team to do it. Before we get into it, I promised you all a giveaway at 300,000 subs, and I'm sorry it's a bit late, but here it is. We've got over $150 worth of RP to give away, a SteelSeries Siberia 200 headset, and a Rival 100 mouse. I'm also launching my Overwatch channel today with this. I'm doing the giveaway with a friend of mine, Huzz, who I'll be playing with a lot, but to enter, all you need to do is go into the description, click the link, click on the entries, and you're automatically entered. There will be way more info in the description, so you can check all of that before you do it, but that's it in a nutshell. So good luck, and honestly, thank you for watching my videos. So now, at number 10, we have Ezreal to kick this off. This is a really good example of what this video is about, because there are a ton of champions who can carry, but these 10 are a special kind of carry. League is a team game, right? You'll probably always need some help, but these just need way less than any others. Ezreal doesn't carry as hard as some of the other picks on this video, but he is not reliant on his team to do it at all. He can shift and stay at range to keep himself safe. He can do damage from range as well. Like most ADs, like a Vayne for example, do insane damage, but they need some time to do it. They need a front line to buy them that time, and so are reasonably team reliant. Ezreal can do this from range with his Mystic Shot kiting. It's kind of down to you how much impact you have. It's like, did I hit all my skill shots? Did I kite properly? Did I use my shift wrong and die? If you play a fight perfectly, you can kite them around and win it. Your lane phase is really consistent, so you can kind of always have those items you need to carry. You have damage from range, farm from range, so you're little risk, and you're not reliant on ganks or your support either. Now at number 9 is LeBlanc, the outplay queen of the mid lane. You juke around constantly, you dodge things. If you're good enough, there is always a way to kill someone. Late game is actually better now than it used to be as well. You can just W forward, Q and R on a priority target, and they're probably going to die, or at least you chunk them out of the fight. Your roaming is good, your lane phase is good, and you just have an insane amount of damage. I guess LeBlanc is a very proactive pick. That's kind of what we're looking for. You don't sit back and just see what happens. You take it to them and you force the game to be played how you want it to be. You have the potential to carry harder than most other mid laners with your damage. Once you get rolling, you are just crazy strong. Problem is that you are a little more team reliant than the others on here. Not very, but still, if you aren't super fed, then it's going to be a lot harder to carry. I guess one way to put it is she is a pick who relies almost solely on her burst damage to carry, and if that doesn't work, then she doesn't really have much to fall back onto. So pouncing her way into number 8 is Nidalee. I think most people might have expected her a little bit higher on this video after having spears repeatedly shoved up their backsides this season, but she isn't as well rounded as some others. She carries harder than most early to mid game for sure, but after that is kind of like a drastic fall off and isn't as useful. This almost actually made me take her out of this video, but the thing is, if you play it correctly and you get ahead, you can end before you become useless. Nidalee games where she wins are shorter than average because they get ahead and they keep putting on the pressure. They keep throwing spears and killing everyone until the game is over. You really don't need your team to do this at all. You gank a lot, you 1v1 people, you poke, kill, you have the damage to kill the enemy laner anyway. You don't even need them to follow up, and that's one of the things that makes her so scary. Whether you're going to invade in the game, whether you're going to gank or control every objective, you can do it by yourself. You create a huge lead and keep snowballing until the game is over. The reason she is so high up here is purely because if she doesn't get that done early, then she does become a little bit useless, but in theory she has a potential to completely solo carry a game early. At number 7, we're going to have Yasuo. As an AD main, it kind of pains me to put him on this video. I put Yasuo on my highest risk, highest reward video before, but this time we're talking more about the potential, and really good Yasuo can carry so hard whether he's ahead or behind. There is a risk that once you get behind, you'll continue to get boned, but even at that stage in the game, if that happens, you do have a chance to just outplay, juke, and come back into the game. I have seen Yasuo mains feed their ass off and then get a 1v3 triple kill just because they farmed so well and they are good at the champion. That's pretty disgusting, honestly. The good thing is, if you get ahead, you keep snowballing, you push, you farm, and they don't really have an answer to you. If you get behind, then you're going to push anyway, you're going to farm anyway, and eventually you'll get items and they don't really have an answer. Your team fight is good with your ultimate, your split pushing is really good with Phantom Dancer, just being able to duel anyone, and it's kind of rare that even if you're not as strong, you can be so annoying to shut down and stop. At number 6, we have Draven. I'm sure my stream is going to love this one because every time I play Draven, everyone calls me Filer1. As much as I hate that, Draven is really good at hard carrying a game and doesn't need anyone to do it. We've all seen him where he gets ahead, 3-shotting the the enemy AD, and sadly that's kind of pretty normal for when he gets ahead. Draven is a weird champion because you kind of need to play him regularly to stay being really good at him, but he's insane when you have actually learnt him. Potential wise, he can actually carry so hard and is one of the few ADs who doesn't really need his team to do it. You can get kills in your lane without your support after level 6 and a few items. You can kill everyone in team fights with your 1000 damage crits, and there's not much they can do to stop you. Again, most ADs need a frontline to do their job, or kind of some protection, right? But because of how much damage Draven has, he can kill them so fast, he doesn't really need that. He is immobile and weak to crowd control. That's kind of one of the big arguments against picking Draven, but that really comes down to you and your positioning. Plus, most people buy an early Mercurial now to help with that. In a lot of ways, it is really up to you how well you do in a game, which is pretty rare for an AD carry. He's like a weird mix of AD carry and burst rolled into one manly package. So let's get into our top 5 now, and you know what, actually we're going to start this with a support. Blitzcrank is the only support really who can consistently carry bad teams and still win games. It doesn't matter if they are bad, if they can't make plays, if they're messing up, because all they need to do is kill the person you hook. In lane you can get your AD carry fed, you can set up ganks perfectly, and if you play it properly you always start the fight with an advantage. You look for that hook on a carry and blow them up to start. When we're talking about potential, the enemy team shouldn't even be able to do anything in the game. They're always afraid of being hooked and have to sit right at the back. I can't really think of many champions that have such a big impact on the enemy team mindset wise, let alone a support. The best thing about this is that you don't need gold, you don't need to be fed, you don't even need to be ahead in the game to do this. Your hook is just a great way to solo carry a game no matter what is happening, no matter how the game actually is. This one is a little different to the others here. Blitz won't be killing everyone and carrying that way, but he can be one of the biggest reasons you win. Now I had this really weird bug when I was trying to record number 4, but anyway, Kazakhs is going to take this one. I don't know if that was a bit too subtle or not, but whatever. We've all seen these crazy Kazakhs montages where he jumps around killing everyone, and he's a lot like Nidalee actually, but can carry throughout the entire game. His isolation mechanic makes him amazing at snowballing. You can ward deep, catch people moving around the map, and it's such a quick kill that it's not very risky at all to play like that. Remember, we're talking about the ability to solo carry without relying on your team at all, and I didn't put him on here to start with because kind of like Katarina, right? You're best when your team gets them low and you go in and reset a million times. The thing is, Kazakhs doesn't need to play like that. When he's ahead, he can jump in and even without isolating someone, kill them and jump back out, or just stealth to wait for cooldowns. A good Kazakhs is really scary. When they go off and have an amazing game, they will just ruin it, and there is practically nothing you can do. Funnily enough, being two-shot by someone is very hard to deal with and stop. I guess one way to put it is if you gave every champion 10,000 gold and said, okay, go carry the game, well, Kazakhs will be one of the best. Now, as always with these videos, go and guess the top 3 in the comments. I'll be looking to see how many you guys got right, and no cheating. Rengar is taking a bronze medal here, but he is a very similar deal to Kazakhs. It's just a lot easier to do the same thing. When Rengar is ahead, it's almost impossible to deal with. The 100% crit build is the most disgusting thing I think I've ever played against as an AD carry too. Thanks Snipe Blue for that one, by the way. You have so much damage packed into your kit, but also a low cooldown, reliable way to use it. For Kazakhs, you have to ward, right? You have to wait for someone to be there, and then you have to move to them. That's a lot of effort. With Rengar, you just press R. You see if anyone is about. If they are, great, kill them. If they aren't, no worries, just wait a minute and try again. The great thing is that it doesn't require your team at all. They can honestly be terrible, and it doesn't matter. You can pick people off, you can get fed, and then just one-shot everyone when it comes to fights. I don't think I've ever said this in a video, but last season I actually took an unranked account to Diamond playing only Rengar because I find him a lot of fun, and part of that is because I feel like no matter what happens, every game I have a chance to carry. If I don't carry, then it's likely there was something I could have done better. If we win, then it's normally because I played well and I killed everyone. That is literally the definition of a solo carry champion. Now, leaping into the silver spot is the lamppost wielding maniac Jax himself. We've seen a bunch of jungle Jax recently, and if you haven't, try it with Blood Razor and Rageblade. It's disgusting. Anyway, for this video, Jax has a ton of damage. With the new Triforce, he'll do even more, and that damage just keeps ramping up as the game goes on. The thing is, your damage is sustained, but also burst at the same time, and I don't know, the combination is just ridiculous. It's not something we see very often. If you play it correctly, you can win your lane. You can take towers insanely fast, team fight well with your stun, and I don't really want to keep using the word damage too much, but it's just so high. As soon as Jax becomes good in the general game, we see a huge spike in pick rate just because he's so good at carrying a game, and people love being able to do that. You can team fight and kill everyone, or you can split push, dive, and become impossible to stop. Either way, you're going to carry, and you don't need anybody else to do it. The split pushing aspect is really what makes me put him at number 2 though. Sure, we can carry hard anyway and kill people, but being able to thump down towers and dive so easily just makes him so hard to deal with. Now, I know you might think something is a bit fishy, not quite right with their number 1 spot, but let me just explain why Fizz is so good at solo carrying a game. Unlike everybody else in this video, Fizz has a bit of everything. Almost every aspect that lets a champion solo carry a game is just rolled into this one package. So you have the damage part of it. You can literally one-shot people. You have the roaming part. You're really good at roaming ganks to snowball the game. Your lane phase is actually okay. You have a lot of kill potential, which lets you get some early items, and you can outplay people all day. Your E, your Q, your Zhonya's to dodge damage and dive in and out of fights. Finally, your reliance on team is very low. You don't need them to one-shot people or kill things or run around. All of these things add up together to being able to carry so hard and not rely on your team to follow up. You can run around, kill everyone with just 1 or 2 items and do some serious work. Now, you can easily snowball the game out of control early just by roaming, but even in team fights, how slippery you are makes it very hard to deal with. As far as it goes, walking into a game and not needing anyone else to win, Fizz stands the best chance of doing this time and time again. So anyway, that wraps up this video. Remember to enter the giveaway. All the information you're going to need is down in the description, and I'll be talking about it in future videos as well to remind you. But remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. But for now, let's go to the robots.